Yo, family, what's going on? Let's go into the market and see how we're going to protect our money this week. If this is your first time, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. That way you get access to all of the future content that is produced by yours truly. Every single week, what we do here is we go over the charts and we're going to look to see if we can get any type of insight for what can happen in the market, because we are here to protect our money. All right, so let's get busy with what we got going on with the prices. All right, so S&P futures right now are indicating flat around 36.20 as we talk about it right now. So we've looked at this over time. We've got our wedge pattern that's been broken, and we've got a breakout towards the downside, and we have our 200-day moving average. So what can happen from here? All right, we've got a lot of hype in the market about October being some type of rebound that could happen because we've sold heavily into last month. What I see is a continuation of that sell, and this is why I see this. We've got the breakdown out of this wedge pattern. We've hit the lows, we've tested those lows, and we've bounced so far. We haven't had any conviction to the upside right now. Everything that has gone up has also come right back down. Right now, the market is not giving any type of signals that it does want to rebound. Only because we've hit lows have we been triggered to get some type of buying action. But that does not mean that the selling can't stop. So I want us to protect our money by making sure that we do our best to buy at the best possible price. The next possible price that we want to try to find for the S&P futures is going to be in this area right here, around that 3,200. Okay, so in my prediction, I think that eventually this here breaks and we end up going down to around that 3,200 area. I say that because we've got a lot of selling pressure. Family, there's a lot of selling pressure out here. If there's a lot of sellers out there, they're probably going to get their way and push this price lower. I say look out. I don't think that this is the end of any of the selling going on. If and once this does break, we're looking for 3,200. All right, so that's the S&P futures. Let's go on over and check out the Dow futures. All right, Dow futures, come to me. What do we got? 29,406. So that's about 0.5% as the futures look right now. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We do this every single week and we get busy. All right, so now we've got the same breakout pattern here, although this one looks a little bit more promising. And I say that because we hit new lows with the Dow. Okay, and the pattern has always been new lows, lower high, new lows, lower high. And in that case, the lower high might come back to around that 31,000 area. If it does end up getting up that high, can't price that out, but I do see the same pattern continuing if this does make a move higher. So we did flash higher at one point. That sold off last month, and then we ended up selling right back off, and we're hanging tight. That 200-day moving average is continuing to keep that price close. It's hugging all over it, trying to not let it go. It's his boo thing, and we're gonna have to figure out if they want to stay together or not. All right, so that's the Dow futures. Let's head on over to the Russell futures and see what's popping. RTY, come to me, 1708. All right, so around 1700, and right now we're still, we're about flat again. All right, a little bit over 0.5% for the market as we talk right now. So as we look closer at it, this is very similar to what's going on with the S&P right now, where we've bounced off of our support and we are trying to hold everything that we can right now. Last week sold off, which was also coincidentally almost last month, and we are holding tight. All right, this candle here, we had a long wick at the top. It hit that 200-day moving average and it went back down. And then this week we're trying to hold things together, so we're going to see if it has what it takes to stay above this support area. All right, so that is the Russell. And lastly, let's go ahead and check out what's going on with the Nasdaq. All right, so the Nasdaq is at, come on, there it is, 10,924. All right, and we are a little bit higher on this as we continue to talk. Says, as long as I keep talking, the market keeps going up. All right, now let's zoom in and see what we got going on. We've hit new lows, and we are sustaining what those new lows are now. So for the fact that we have not had a vicious move higher, I am not convinced currently that the market is going to make any type of move to the upside. I feel like if you hit new lows, we should be making some type of move higher. Kind of sort of what we did here. When we hit the new lows, we struggled for a little bit, bounced, obviously sold all of that off. But typically when you have a what's called a dead cat bounce like that, you usually continue to move to the downside. And unfortunately for all four indexes, that's what I am seeing. I'm seeing the potential for the market to continue to slide lower, and we hit new price targets. Make sure that you check those out. All the prior videos I got going on, I've indicated what those price targets are. So make sure you go check out all the content. All right, let's move forward. Now, we always talk about our favorite stocks here that we cover. That's Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Tesla, Google, and Meta. Okay, so let's see what's going on with them. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, I do have a chart reading course. I neglect to talk about it every single time because I am terrible at talking about myself. I really like to just educate and help you. So in order to help you and help me, I do have my chart reading course. Make sure you check that link out in the bio. So Apple, what's going on? 138.98. Everybody talks about Apple as it is like the savior of all of the stock market. Unfortunately, I've had a price target on this at 130 for a while. If you've been following, that it would get there. We flashed lower. I think that this is not done. Okay, I think Apple does truly end up getting to 130. And let's look at the chart. So we've always had that 170 price target area where it's been a sell-off. Okay, and I said last time that this would break due to this candle situation here. It did break. Then we had, oh, look at that. That looks very similar, doesn't it? We've had a break, a chance for a break lower once more. I think that this is not done. I think we end up getting to around that 130 area. And when we get there, then that's when we can really start making some harsh judgments on what the market can have in store for its future. Right now, I see Apple continuing to make that move towards that 130, and we've highlighted the support. That support is where I'm looking for the price to get to. All right, so that's Apple. Let's go on and check out Amazon. So Amazon's at holding tight 112.20 right now. In the aftermarket is at 113.10, and it is doing its hardest job to stay afloat because the sellers are putting all sorts of pressure on there. You can see we had a very similar situation here where it did make the same candle situation on Apple. Here it flashed higher and sold all of it off immediately, and now we have a move lower in the works. Although we are indicating higher around 113 right now, I still see around this 110 starting to break down. This is going to likely move back down to around that 105 area. That's what I see for Amazon. Unfortunately, the bulls are not there right now, and they're tired of swinging. I think this is going to end up letting go and getting to around 105. There's Amazon. Let's go ahead and check out what's going on with Meta. And good grief, Meta, we are getting to the nitty gritty here. 128.54, indicating higher right now around 130 or so. Meta. Meta needs a hug. All right, so we are getting down to where the ultimate price target's around 120-ish, right? Because that's where, or 125 is what it was. I'm sorry, 125. We got fairly close there, didn't we? All right, so this should be where it should give all of the stops, okay? Everything should be pulled out to say, I am getting in, okay? Institutional buyers are likely going to start swooping this stock up because this is extremely cheap. And as you can see, this has not been hit since about 2018. 2018, and we've had a monster run to close to 400 basically, and we have more than half this stock. So this is a steal for anybody who's looking to pick anything up. If you're searching, check out Meta. Meta might be a good fit for your portfolio. Okay, so Meta price target has been hit. Buys, I think, have been activated. That's Meta. Let's go ahead and check out what's going on in Netflix world. Netflix 214.29. Look at this. Look at this, family. We've warned so many times, stay out of this bloody water over here, okay? This mud. We said we don't want anything to do with this until it's either what? Above 250 or below 220, okay? So now that we've seen it in front of our face, this is where action comes to play, okay? We are below 220. Family, this is where we start. Yes. All right. That below 220 triggers a move down to around that 190 area. I personally am in it. I'm not giving any advice to anybody else, but this is what I see. I'm taking advantage of it. I see what triggers. I'm taking advantage of it. All right. That break below 220 is all I needed to see in order to make something happen. I think Netflix continues to move lower as it finally breaks out of this range and gets back to its home base, which is around that 190 area. All right, so that's Netflix. Let's go and check out Tesla. Everybody loves Tesla too, and everybody on here is getting their behind spanked if they were buying Tesla anywhere near 300. All right, right now 216.50 is what we have for the last close, about 218 on the open right now as we talk. All right, let's zoom in and see what we got going on. Let me get all of this out of the way because I do not need that drawn anymore. But we are in that area. Okay, family, we discussed this multiple times. We said we would likely come into this area, and we are there. Okay, so now what to do? I think that around this area is a good entry. Okay, entry. I say entry, I emphasize entry, because I believe Tesla can continue to go lower, and this is why I believe that. Okay, we've gotten into this area finally. This is where a lot of the price activity is there, and then also we've got some decent support. Okay, we've been here before. We played in this sandbox. Now it's time for it to hold. But with current market conditions, this is where you have to keep this in mind. Things can go lower. All right, we are feeling pressure on there, and as you can see, we've got a pattern here of lower lows, lower high, lower lows, lower high. We came back into this area. We can easily make a lower low. If this breaks, let's find out where we can start picking up something again. This area here is where we are starting to show some type of life. Okay, so this 170 area. Okay, we'll just put it right around here. 170. We're going to say Tesla 170 is the next best price area if we want to get involved in Tesla. All right, so I'm looking for Tesla 170. All right, 170. I'm looking for Tesla 170. All right, lastly, let's go ahead and check out one of my favorites, Google. Okay, Google 97.18. Yo, prices out here getting real attractive. Okay, that's going to entice some buyers, but remember, we still have a little bit more sliding, in my opinion, for what the market can do. 97.18, and we're pretty flat right now in the pre-market. If we zoom in, what do we got? Okay, we've discussed multiple times about how this support broke, how we had this inverse cup and handle pattern, and now we've got smaller scale bear flag going on here, okay, which also is a bearish indicator. I think that this does break, all right, because 100 broke. It continues to be resistance now, and I think we still end up getting to this $85 to $90 range. I still think that this is a good entry. I think the better entry is going to be at that 85 to 90 range. So that's it in the scoop. Ladies and gentlemen, family, how you been? How you doing out there? This is a tough environment, isn't it? It's scary. But one thing about having the chart in front of you, You know how to protect your money. Protecting things doesn't have to be scary. That's why I created this. I want to be able to help you reside in happiness. Zen. We want to be happy. We don't want to be stressed. We don't have to sit here and look at the charts all the time. But when we do look at them, we want to understand, where's my point that I need to get involved, and leave it at that. So simplicity is best. That's why we do what we do. All right. So make sure you take care of yourself out there. Don't let all this stress you out. There's a lot of news, as you can see in the beginning. I didn't really bring up the news stuff today. Everything's always going to say the same thing currently. Gloom and doom. But there are sunnier skies ahead for everybody, all right? So yes, take care of yourself. Health is wealth. Drink your water. Make sure you exercise and spend time with people you love, all right? Don't be stressed out. Be happy, all right? And we'll check you next time. Peace.